Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell. In this video we're going to continue on with our motivational theories, and this is the third and final theory that we need to go through, and it's called the 4-drive theory. Now the 4-drive theory was developed by Lawrence and Noria, and it states that there are 4 basic motivational needs that drives people's emotions and behaviours. So that's what the focus obviously is those 4 basic motivational needs. Now what they found is that these drives come from our evolutionary past. So it's the real core of our existence and where we've come from. And the 4 drives, or the things that drive humans, are the drive to acquire, they have the drive to bond, the drive to comprehend, and the drive to defend. And we're going to go through each one of those individually. So to begin, the drive to acquire, this is where the individual is driven to gather material items, clothing, shelter, other material goods, anything that a person wants to purchase. They want those real material goods. But also individuals are driven to acquire things like status, their accomplishments, and the drive to acquire power. So that's the drive to acquire, really, the material goods and also status. The drive to bond is where the individual is driven to seek strong working relationships within the business. So if you think back to Maslow's theory that we did in an earlier video, we had the social needs, or the love and belongingness need, that real need to develop strong relationships. And also the employee has the drive to feel as though they belong to the business. So they want to feel like they're really part of something that they believe in. Thirdly, the drive to comprehend. This is really a learning drive where the employee is driven to learn and be challenged in their role or in their job. So this is where they also want to be curious and have their curiosity satisfied. So that real drive to learn and comprehend things within their actual job. And finally, the drive to defend. This is where individuals are driven to defend themselves or their family, their friends, their accomplishments, their possessions, anything like that. So it's really where they feel threatened and they look to defend themselves. So this is more of a, I suppose you could look at it in terms of a negative drive, but it's one that business is, I suppose, trying to avoid. So providing an environment where the employee doesn't need to defend themselves. But if that does happen and the employee does feel the need to defend themselves, then there should be processes put in place that can allow that to happen. So for example, if they feel like their position is threatened, or that they an accomplishment or something like that has been threatened, then there may be a grievance procedure put in place by the business that can enable them to defend themselves. So the 4-drive theory, the strength of each drive is different in each individual, and it also can change over time. So for example, someone early on in their career may have the drive, be really strong in the drive to acquire, but then later on it might be that they have the drive to comprehend is more prevalent in that particular individual. It's detrimental if one drive dominates and can lead to an imbalance in personal and business outcomes. So really what the business is trying to do is try and provide opportunities for the employee to satisfy all of those drives and have them equal, so rather than having an imbalance. So that's really important to do so. Now we're just going to go through some possible strategies that can sort of meet, or that a business can implement so that it can satisfy the actual drive, each drive within an individual. So things, if we start off with the drive to acquire, things like providing competitive pay, monetary rewards programs, career advancement, so that they can achieve that kind of status, and also recognizing good performance. With the drive to bond, where we're trying, the employee is looking after, what's really strong relationships, setting up support programs such as mentoring, structuring work teams so that the employees can work together, building a culture that values sharing, social gatherings, all those types of things, employee-centered management styles, like a consultative or participative management style, so that the relationships that are built within the organization or within the business are really strong. To the drive to comprehend, providing interesting work, opportunities to learn new things, providing challenging work, ensuring that the work that they're doing is actually really meaningful and it's something that they believe in and want to achieve, support growth and learning opportunities, so that real training and development, providing opportunities for that so that the employee can take on board and learn new skills and develop their knowledge. And finally, the drive to defend. Some possible strategies a business could implement would be to ensure performance evaluations are fair so that the employee doesn't feel the need to defend themselves, that they know that it's done fairly, set clear and transparent objectives, so the employee understands exactly what it is they need to achieve and also what they're going to be assessed against, and having resolution procedures in place so that if the employee feels the need to defend themselves, that those processes are in place. Like I said earlier, an example of that is a grievance procedure. So just to recap, the 4-drive theory is based on 4 basic motivational needs: the drive to acquire, the drive to bond, the drive to comprehend, and the drive to defend. Now, each drive is independent and will change in terms of which one is more dominant over time throughout their career, and the business needs to provide opportunities to satisfy each drive within an individual. So that's really key in terms of how they're going to provide those opportunities for the employee to satisfy each of those drives. So for questions, activities, and to find out more about our Unit 4 and exam preparation lectures, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.